How does USCIS know if we lie on the I-864? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. And today we're going to talk about that pesky I-864, the affidavit of support. And I got a very interesting question in the comments the other day, which is, how will USCIS know if we lied on that form? Now, for those of you who don't know, the I-864 is the form that USCIS uses to check to see if the immigrant is going to have the financial resources to support themselves while they go through the green card process and after becoming a lawful permanent resident. So in every case, the U.S. citizen or green card holder petitioner is going to have to file an affidavit of support, the I-864, and they are going to have to submit supporting documents. You're going to have to show that for the last 3 years you made 125% of the poverty guidelines, and in our mind we usually shoot for $30,000 a year for a single person. If there's extra people involved, you should add about $5,500, $6,000 for each person to calculate whether or not the person is sufficient to do it on their own or if they're going to need a co-sponsor. The whole purpose of the affidavit of support is that the government wants to make sure that they're not going to have to pay out benefits for this person who wants to immigrate to the United States. They want to make sure that this person can support themselves, and so they make the person who's sponsoring them, the spouse, either a U.S. citizen or green card holder, submit this I-864. And in support of the I-864, they're going to have to submit proof that they're currently employed, what their current salary is, what their income has been, specifically their adjusted gross income for each of the last 3 years, and then the supporting documents, so W-2s, 1099s, whatever documents there are that demonstrate that you have in fact earned money at the rate that the government requires. If you, the petitioner, don't make enough money, you still have to submit it, but then you're going to have to do everything again with a co-sponsor. So that's someone else who says that if Abdullah the immigrant gets immigration benefits, a green card, and then starts to get financial benefits from the government, and Abdullah doesn't pay the government back, and Abdullah's spouse doesn't pay it back, then this third person, the co-sponsor, will agree to pay that back. And they have to submit the affidavit of support, they have to submit the W-2s, they have to submit proof of employment, and they have to submit the tax returns for the last 3 years showing that adjusted gross income. And so the question that I received in the comments on our YouTube video was, well, how does the government know if we lie? Well, that's just such a sneaky question and such a weird question that I thought I would make this video. Because of course, if one person has the question, that means other people have the questions. And we have to start with the basic assumption that people are telling the truth. When you fill out your taxes, you should be telling your truth. You shouldn't be making things up. You shouldn't be playing games. You shouldn't be trying to get advantages by filing for tax benefits that you aren't entitled to, like naming dependents who aren't really yours. These are not the kinds of things that you want to do. But you do have to submit that supporting evidence, and that's the answer to the question. That's how USCIS assumes that you're not lying, how they try to figure out if you are in fact making the income. Now, I've never had a situation, I've had lots of crazy situations, but I've never had a situation that I know of where somebody falsified their information on the affidavit of support or the supporting documents. They must have the ability at USCIS to track whether or not what you've submitted meshes and meets what you submitted in support of your tax return. So I would think it'd be a very stupid thing to do to try to lie to them. It wouldn't be very hard for them to figure it out. All they have to do is ask for your tax transcripts, and that's the ultimate way that you can prove that you have enough money and that you did pay your taxes, is by getting tax transcripts, because that actually demonstrates that you did submit tax returns and that you did pay your taxes at the rate discussed in your affidavit of support. And that's really the way that they check. They check to make sure that everything matches. If it doesn't match, then they would issue a request for evidence or a notice of intent to deny and say, hey, what in the hell's going on? But literally in 16, 17 years of practicing immigration law, I've never seen that happen. There's people committing immigration fraud, but it's usually not related to the affidavit of support, because usually you can find someone who's making enough money. And of course, we always want to submit accurate information to the government. And we also want to make sure that our information always matches what we've told different branches of the government, different agencies within the executive branch. So if you have questions about the affidavit of support or want to hire us to help with your marriage-based case, go to the Immigrant Home Facebook group or find us on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're looking to hire us to help you with the process, give us a call at 314-961-8200 or email us at info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Don't forget, we have the Immigration Answer Show, where 3 or 4 times a week I answer as many immigration law-related questions as I can in an hour. and we will see you next time. Thanks.